After the last few days of recovery, Ethereum is doing something really exciting in this descending wedge pattern, and there's something to watch that's happening right now in Ethereum. Hello guys, and welcome to the House Crypto. I make videos about Ethereum as well as other cryptocurrencies. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button as well as subscribe to be kept up to date with all the latest happening in Ethereum as well as Ethereum news and other cryptocurrency news. Without further ado then, let's jump into the charts for today. So guys, looking at the daily over here on Ethereum, we can see that we came up earlier today and we hit a peak at around $2,400 or just under $2,400, and as you can see we took a bit of a dip back down further. However, as we know with these patterns, we always talk about it that we want to come out before coming back for a retest, and as you can see literally in the just last hour or so we've come back and had a retest of around the $2,180 level before currently sat at 2,217. So what we're looking to play out here is if we can maintain support above this level on this orange line, okay, so above the sort of the $2,180 level, and perhaps have an engulfing candle coming up the other side of this, then we are looking to make a move back towards the upside. If we look at this pattern here, we can see a bit of a cup and a handle has formed, and that does ultimately move us back towards this sort of key level around the $2,650 level. What else I want to do is we take the Fibonacci tool from the swing high down to this swing low here. We can see that perfectly today we've come up and we've touched the 0.236. Obviously we found resistance here. So what we're really looking to do, as I've just mentioned, if we can swing and we can get above this level and find support above this level, then the next level will be back towards here, the $2,700 level. But where would the target take us from this particular descending wedge pattern? So as we know, we take the height of the triangle from over here, and then we move it to the point of the breakout, which is around here, and that would then take us, as you can see, back towards $3,670. And if we look back before, we obviously had a bit of resistance at this level, all the way back now on the 6th of May. And then actually later on the 13th of May, a week later, we saw this dip where we found support at this level. So obviously this is a very key level to be paying attention to. And as I mentioned, if we can break above this level and find support, then this ultimately should be our target. Now obviously nothing is guaranteed. Go in, do your own research. Even when patterns play out, they don't always fully play out and sometimes can go against us. So it's always be cautious when we are making we're making trades, etc. Now something else that's been huge, obviously, you know, we've seen sort of the London hard fork happen, and we've had a huge impact on the fees, the gas fees, which was so extremely high earlier on this year, and we were talking about the impact of that on the Ethereum price, and actually now they're now averaging something like 60 cents. There was a trade the other day of around $1 billion, and it had something like a $1 trading cost. Can you imagine being able to move that amount of money for such a low fee, which is obviously, you know, why crypto is the future and a really exciting thing. Now this story over here in Yahoo Finance, 6 million Ethereum is now being staked on ETH 2.0, which is something like $13 billion worth of Ethereum, and this is up from around $6 billion just last month. So you can see that people are starting to gain more and more interest. Basically when you stake it, people have to stake for a minimum of a year because it's locking up more and more Ethereum, and that means that ultimately the supply is going to be reduced and ultimately will start pushing the price, in my opinion. So ETH is about to hit 6 million Ethereum. Okay, so the story here, ETH 2.0 is about to hit 6 million Ethereum with 179,709 validators currently. Okay, the recent number is a huge jump from last month. December saw a total of 1.6% of the Ethereum supply being staked, or $1.1 billion. Currently, there is roughly 5% of the supply being staked. And as I mentioned, you know, that's already up. It's already doubled or more than doubled from last month. So, you know, you can see potentially that we're going to see more and more Ethereum being staked, particularly at these current levels where we're seeing prices still sort of sitting around half the price of the all-time highs that we saw sort of last month, etc. And it goes on to talk about the gas fees plunging. And in fact, actually, I said it a bit high earlier, 60 cents is now down to 0.15 cents. So, you know, before when we saw that huge ramp up, many people who were looking to put in perhaps $100, a few $100, were maybe put off because the gas fees almost, in some cases, were almost as much as people were wanting to buy. So actually, this now opens up the market to many, many more people, and will make a huge difference potentially once we get retail investors flooding back into the platform. Okay, so this is obviously a key area to watch. Okay, so jumping back into the Ethereum Bitcoin chart on the 1 day, again, we can see something very interesting happening. We're seeing a lot of news at the moment about Ethereum potentially being able to flip Bitcoin in terms of market cap. And what we're seeing here, this is obviously on the daily chart, so it's going to take quite a long time to play out, but something very exciting is happening in terms of this descending wedge pattern, where we have been moving up over the last sort of week or so quite aggressively. We have formed some sort of a shoulder there, a head and another shoulder, which would potentially take us beyond this pattern. And if this was to break out, the target for this area, considering that probably would be a few more sort of days, maybe even weeks before we might see a breakout from this pattern, we could see Ethereum heading up towards 9-10% of a Bitcoin. And given that Bitcoin is also doing something really exciting at the moment, Ethereum is to move up and become more like sort of 10% of a Bitcoin, Bitcoin being currently at around $33,500, then we are potentially in for something exciting if we can see Bitcoin play out of this chart pattern here. Now, unlike the Ethereum descending wedge, we've actually got an ascending wedge, and obviously we've still got this channel intact, which we're in basically from the all-time high all the way back down to the sort of the lower levels here. And we did have a breakout a few days ago where we came back and retested, and now what we've formed is actually an ascending wedge here, which is ultimately quite a bullish pattern in that each time it drops we're getting higher lows, which means that the buying pressure is coming in at higher prices each time. And on this current 4-hour candle we did come down and we have tested this area here. So obviously Ethereum does follow Bitcoin quite closely, so it will be very interesting to see whether Bitcoin can hold above this level on this 4-hour candle, of which there's probably another couple of hours left to play out. If we can hold above that level, then we are potentially going to take a move back towards the upside of this. And what does that mean for us in terms of a breakout target from this? That would then bring us with Bitcoin back up towards $43,600, which again, we saw these levels of support on the way back down, and then this has been a key area of resistance, that we've been trying to break through. So if we can have a break to the upside and push back above these levels at around the $41,000 level, which has been the key area since all the way back on the 19th of May, then we are going to see Bitcoin starting to move back towards the upside. This could coincide with Ethereum moving up against Bitcoin, so it's something very exciting as an Ethereum holder. Something else that we can see forming here on the Bitcoin chart is this cup handle here, and again another handle which is the handle which has moved down, and as we've talked about just there, had a touch on this level here. And we've actually starting to put in just under there behind the line. You can see this green candle starting to be put in here, which is showing a good amount of buying pressure. And if we are able to push back up, then again, this chart pattern, although it's not going to have a breakup quite up here because it's not quite so large, will then bring us probably back to around the area of around $40,000. So ultimately, things are looking quite bullish in the short term for Bitcoin and Ethereum if we can maintain those key levels above this line. So on Bitcoin, as long as we can maintain a level above sort of $33,190 level, and as long as Ethereum can hold above the bottom line on its chart. Now obviously we're seeing a lot of the market news etc. being very bullish, very positive, but we should always have an air of caution about that. At the moment, things are starting to improve, things are looking quite solid, but things can turn against us very quickly. And ultimately, if we are unable to maintain a close above this level, then we are potentially going to at least come down to the top of this channel, which will be around the $30,000 mark. And if we can't maintain that, obviously the target price for this would be somewhere down towards the sort of $26,000, $27,000 level, and ultimately Ethereum would go further south, following along with Bitcoin as it always does. Right now, as we speak, I'm feeling quite confident that we are kind of going to maintain those levels within those patterns. We're starting to see retail investors getting back involved. We're starting to see a lot of whales getting on board, etc. So things are looking quite exciting. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are down below on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Are you holding both Bitcoin, Ethereum at the moment? Where are you kind of leaving most of your cash? Are you hedging your bets against Bitcoin, or is Ethereum your sort of front runner let me know down below. Also guys, thanks very much for watching. Please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps out the video, and it takes you a couple of seconds, and it helps me out more than you know. As long as you've got maybe just the tiniest bit of value from that, I'd really appreciate it if you could do it. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. You're an Ethereum holder, Bitcoin holder, or interested in other crypto ICOs, etc. Thanks very much for watching guys, and I will see you again tomorrow with another video. Bye bye.